All right, guys, happy Sunday. This is the girls' parent meeting. Making sure you're in the right spot. Are and our agenda items tonight, we're going to talk about the high school,
No, not from long ago.
the high school recruiting page,
But it wasn't like that bad. It wasn't bad.
and teams playing next weekend and update on uniforms. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Daryl, and he's going to talk about the recruiting page that Magic has. Coach Daryl. You're on mute, by the way. You're on mute, Coach Daryl.
Unmute. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
All righty. Hopefully we have everybody on here. Something I wanted to share. I don't know if a lot of you parents know about this, especially at our high school level. So for our recruiting page, maybe a lot of people that don't know, the NS, I think it's NHSS, something like that. You get a lot of things that offer a lot of recruiting stuff, and you end up paying $3 or $4 grand. I remember 2 years ago I was going to pay for it because you get access to all the schools and stuff like that. But not knowing that Coach Vanessa was nice enough to go ahead and purchase this for the whole program. And then I just so happened, and I was looking at it, but I didn't really look at it until this year, at the beginning of the year, that we have our own access to every school. That's from junior college all the way to the biggest school, whoever that might be, Power 5 schools. For those that don't know, I'm going to take you through a quick tutorial how to. I forgot how I got to it, so I ended up saving it on. I saved it on everything. But once I find the official, I know it goes through Vanessa's main page. Then you go to another link. So I'm going to flip my camera, and if you can't see it, please let me know. So when you get to the site, it should look something like this here, Northwest Max official recruiting page, and so this is where the girls have their players cards. So everybody should have made a players card on top of before you even get to everything else. So every girl's, like, you got Faith, Reagan, all these girls got information about them that they can have easy access for schools to see. Like if you want to visit somebody's profile, it shows you a quick rundown. They enter this information and stuff like this, and they can add their huddle videos and Twitter pages and all that type of stuff. So it's just easy access for college coaches to get to. Now, here's the best part for me. The best part is right here where it says college.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, where it says college search tool. So if you go to college search tool, click on D1. Let's say we want to click on the state of Washington, go down. Now it's going to pull up every school. So you have the Big Sky, Gonzaga, Seattle, Washington State, UW, Washington State. Let's say click on coaching staff. Now it pulls up every coach that's coaching at that school. So here's what I did with my daughter, because you got to understand there's 360 something D1 schools. They're not going to know everybody. We don't get in front of that many coaches in a span of 6 weeks. We get in front of quite a few of them, but not 360 something schools. So for the ones that don't know our kids, so what I did was I made a file. I started with the Pac-12. I started with Washington. I cut and paste, put it in a folder. So now what I did was I'll take you to the next step. What I did, so after I collect all this information from these coaches, and a lot of them have their Twitter pages too. So when I created my daughter's Twitter page, I went and friended all these coaches, pretty much, not 360 of them, because my daughter's not going to Maine, unfortunately. It's too, unless it's UConn, something like that. But for D2, D3, we're not going to Maine. I'm sorry. There's other D2, D3s on the West Coast. But for all the bigger schools, I went in, sick friend requests. That don't mean all of them. Out of the 400 something schools, I think 90 of them followed Diamond and Kimura back. So, which is great. They get to see them a little bit more. What I did was, let's go here. So that's one way to find it. So this is the next step I did. And this is very tedious. You got to remember, if you're trying to get this girl on Coach Vanessa or the high school coach to do everything, their job outside of training is to provide them a platform to be seen. I sent the players card to them so they get all that stuff that we created. Then also, I sent the same information, added my address, so if they want us to fill out a questionnaire, the same information, I just added it right here so they can see it in both spots. And then I selected each coach. It won't let you coaches. So I just wanted to make sure that as a group, we know we have this in our own backyard. We have our own scouting tool to reach out to, again, junior college coach, NAIA, every school in the U.S. that we can reach out as parents ourselves or coaches to make sure that school is following you. Like an example, I reached out to Marquette. I sent them diamond highlights from summer ball. They it was the Big East. Everybody in the Big East. Marquette reached back to Vanessa because they couldn't talk to Diamond because they can't talk to anybody that's under a sophomore year. They can't call, but we can call them. They reached out to Coach Vanessa right before the season started. I know we're getting ready to go to Milwaukee, and Marquette is right in their backyard. So I know I just sent them the same information. Hey, we're going to be in Milwaukee these dates here, and then when we get our schedule, I'll send it out to them again exactly what times we're playing. So hopefully they'll come by and watch them play. So I just want to share that information because I don't know how many people knew about this here, but it's a great way so we can do our own recruiting for our own kids. If the school's not recruiting you, you recruit the school. And that's pretty much all I want to talk about. Now back to Vanessa.
Thank you. Any questions about that? We wanted to start with the high school because it's getting ready to be high school season. And Daryl, that was a great job of explaining all of that. We do have the best recruiting tool that one can have, and it's important that the parents tap in and use it for your player. We like to get them in front of colleges. We like to train and all that, but there's a lot of other back end legwork that parents should be doing for their player and players doing for themselves as well. We'll talk to them, but we want to make sure you understand what you have at your fingertips right now to be able to help your player. Any questions for Daryl or myself? High schoolers, youth teams, don't worry about that yet. You got time. All right, that means you did a great job of explaining, Daryl. Thank you. Good deal. All right, so the next thing on our agenda was this week's schedule. The schedule, the team snap schedule as far as practices are up to date, I believe. But if they're not, they definitely will be tonight. But please, we're telling all players to attend their practice times. We really have to dive in and make sure we're preparing each team for their spring season. So we've been letting other players attend other practices, but we're really focusing now the next couple of weeks on getting teams ready for what's in front of us in the spring. So please just attend your players' practice for the next couple of weeks while we're preparing to build team chemistry and continuity. Any questions about that?
What if the girls are on multiple rosters?
So just their team. So like Aaliyah's is 5th and 7th elite. So just those two teams this week.
Thank you.
let's see. So this weekend, we start our league play for our third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade elite teams, and sixth elite and sixth select. The third grade roster, we haven't split up yet. We made 2 teams, but we haven't split up yet. We'll do that before we start next week. So this week we'll be dividing teams, so you can go by a certain schedule. But the league schedule is out, and we'll be posting it to Team Snap if it's not already posted yet. And that goes through April and through May. It's every Sunday for those teams. And uniform updates, I'll let Shauna talk to you guys about that.
Uniforms are slowly coming in. They don't come individually packaged, so they're in the process of being sorted out. So basically they're just going to be at practices, just kind of wait to see when your uniform comes, I guess, type thing. So we'll be bringing them to every practice if we have them at that moment.
Good deal. And for the high schoolers, we're hoping that everyone put their order in. College viewing tournament coming up a month from now. So all high schoolers should have their uniforms ordered.
I'll probably just reach out to the high schoolers individually and see where they are, because you guys practice on the weekends, right?
Yes, but they don't, so yeah, the 15U practice.
I know all of them don't live over here.
Yeah, the 15U practices on Fridays now, and then the 16
Okay.
to 17Us don't practice again until April 8th together.
Okay.
But yeah. Any questions about uniform schedules this week and who's playing next weekend, or our high school recruiting page?
Does the 7th grade elite have a game this weekend still, Saturday, Sunday?
Do they have a tournament?
Demetrius.
Yes, a tournament.
Demetrius. Now Princess downstairs.
Muting the coach. They did not get into the DIE tournament. They closed their registration, and so like one of our teams got in it, and 7th grade, they did not open it up for 7th grade girls to participate. So they did not get into that tournament. And it sounds like a handful of people are on spring break anyway, so it didn't look like we had numbers. So we will keep you posted on the next tournament for the group.
I had a question in regards for high school. Are we ordering shoes too, or?
Yeah, the girls are deciding what shoe they want, so they'll circle back. We let the top team pick the high school shoe, and then for the youth teams, I'm getting some ideas from different people, and then we'll post what the spring shoe is for the youth teams. So that should be posted this week.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any questions? All right. Well, this is recorded, so you'll be able to hear it again. And I will also share it in all the groups. But if you don't have any questions, we will end it now. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.